Hello everyone, Elite Clockwoman here. Finally, the long and very epic secret scene came out. Although it was supposed to be 6 minutes long, we ended up with an 8-minute scene, which pleasantly surprised us. In this scene, we saw a lot of action. We saw the new Gigachads duo. We saw Uncle Jimmy again, who literally started his apocalypse as he managed to cook the cameraman's base. We also learned that the cameramen are preparing some improvements and many other details. This scene was really epic and was worth the long wait. So in this video, we will try to find all the secrets and details, and as always, I will explain to you what happened here and what is in store for us. Also, I would like to mention that exactly 1 year ago, on this day, our journey through the multiverse started, and today is the anniversary of the series. We will not forget this wonderful journey, and we still have a lot to go through, and when it is over, we will remember with a smile this good time we had. So, happy anniversary Skibidi Multiverse, stay as good as you are until the ends. Okay, before we get into the analysis, make sure to like and subscribe if you think this is the best multiverse duo, and here we go. At the beginning of the episode, we see that the location is completely on fire. Everything is destroyed, and the battlefield is literally in chaos. And what I noticed right away is that the music used by the guys gives the vibe of the original series. It sounds just amazing. But besides that, even the beginning of the episode is similar to Defook's style and perfectly conveys the seriousness of the atmosphere. We watch what is happening through POV Gigachad with a huge gun. And since he has a really big gun, it's definitely a large cameraman, as the little guys can hardly handle this weapon. After destroying 2 mutants, the guys continue on their way through the base. And by the way, for those who don't know, it's the cameraman's base, which confirms what the domstudio said, that the toilets are going to act the way the Alliance acted before. They are trying to destroy all the Alliance headquarters, which will cause them serious damage. After a few seconds, we see the base itself and the cannons mounted on top of it, which are trying to repel the enemy attack. But I can tell by the fact that everything is on fire that they are not doing well and the toilets are dominating, and our little squad is having no luck as enemies appear out of nowhere, and one of them managed to hit their car. And just as the cameraman was trying to pick up his weapon, another dude appears, who looks like a hell of an explosive, as he's carrying a bunch of barrels of flammable substance. But with a trick, the large pencil man was able to eliminate him safely, and it looks like the other races are in place too, as we saw a large TV man as well, who turned on his flash to finish off the little squad in the air. But still, our old friend managed to survive. Oh yeah, this dude is not vulnerable and is clearly willing to rip someone's finger off if they don't respect him. And I'm even glad he got away. But here we saw something interesting, because notice the container the helicopter is trying to take away. This may be the upgrades that Titan TV Man was talking about, but we'll talk about that when we get to that point. Unfortunately, the helicopter was shot down and the container fell to the ground, and there's a new ugly mutant. Bro looks like an unfinished shawarma for real, but we never got to see him in action, because he was hit by a time-stopping shell, and we saw a chillin' large clockman dancing his way through this hell. Bro doesn't even take seriously that the cameraman's base is almost cooked, and it's funny. Finally, Bro got to his gun, and we saw again a funny scene as the large TV man started to explain to the cameraman that Bro was dumb because it looks like he was trying to teleport this container, which is funny. And after the nice words, "Get your ass over here," he teleported the container and the other guys to a safe place, which still exists, because I think that soon there will be no safe place, because the toilets will sooner or later be able to find even the TV man's base. But suddenly, the large clockman grabbed his head in pain, and I realized what was about to happen, because out of the smoke came a Skibidi magnet, who miraculously resurrected after the speaker man stabbed him in the head with his dagger in episode 11. I'm not gonna lie, toilets use resurrection jutsu better than Orochimaru, bro. But maybe it's not the same dude, just a different toilet that looks like him. Anyway, he tries to cook up the Clockman again like he did in the first episodes. But this time he doesn't succeed because he's thwarted by a brand new special Speakerman agent who starts attacking the mutant from all sides. And with their combined efforts, the agents still manage to make him retreat. Bro seems to have forgotten that he can use his magnets to tear them apart, but still the plot is on the agent's side. And after the magnet retreated, the cameraman headed closer to the base entrance, and the guys arrived here too. And we get to see the new Speakerman in all his glory. His design is really awesome, and Bro is literally a smaller version of his Titan, only he's in a suit. And the guys bump fists as a sign of good work, and it looks like we got another cool duo, and that makes me happy. Hopefully we'll see more of these guys at work in the future. But the large Clockman was able to surprise me because he had some special projectile that he put in his gun and shot at the cameraman with it. And he created some kind of barrier around him that made time flow slower for him than it did for the others. And that's really one of the coolest boosts. I imagine if Titan Clockman could use that thing to boost the Titans. That would be crazy. Blood was literally moving like Flash from Justice League because everything around him was too slow. And I suspect it's similar boosts that Clockwoman used in episode 22, because in that episode, the cameraman was moving at crazy speed, and maybe time slowed down for him when he was moving. Either way, it's one of the best boosts we've seen. Cameraman really started the disco, and while the toilet slowed down 1,000,000 times, he flushed them and destroyed absolutely every enemy he saw in front of him. And when time got back to normal, we saw another mutant, but a big one. The dude was able to destroy a cannon that was on a building and looked like he was ready to destroy our Gigachad. But what do we say to God of Death? Not today, bro. And a large black smoke appeared to the right of the mutant, and when Blood realized he was about to be cooked, it was too late, because Titan TV Man took his head off in one precise blow and threw what was left of it at the rest of the enemies so that they would not relax. And he also said that G-Man is coming, and that the agents should bring the rest of the upgrades to the TV base, because that base was already cooked. But what kind of upgrades cameramen prepared? It's still hard to say, but I think domstudio said that Titan Cameraman will get small changes. Maybe there are some details for him. It is unlikely that we will see big improvements for Titans, as there is no time for that. But Titan Cameraman could get at least some new gun. But maybe it's an improvement for all cameramen, and cameramen will improve as it was in the original series in episode 77. Then Titan TV Man said that they need to retreat because the base was beyond saving, and he used the teleporter to get out of there. And we were shown that all the agents were shocked and couldn't believe that they had to leave the base. It was also obvious that they were confused because that freaking TV man could have taken them into his teleporter instead of only saving his ass. But luckily, the little TV men thought of the other agents, and the large TV man came to the rescue with a container on which we saw the number 10124. You're probably wondering what those numbers mean, and frankly I know what they mean, but it's not time to talk about it yet, so let's forget about it for a while. When the doors opened, we saw that the speakerman was signaling for everyone to get inside, and the guys better hurry up because there were a lot of enemies in the sky that wanted to completely destroy this location, and our main guys had to hold off the enemies so the rest of the cameramen could get to the container. We saw how the special speakerman with his speakers were able to literally blow the enemy into atoms, and then it was the turn of the large clockman, who pointed to the clock because he was going to stop time for a while so that as many agents as possible could escape. And when POV saved one of the cameramen, we saw something wild, as funny music started playing, and the cameraman literally pulled out a flower. As Bro was very grateful, but they don't have time for goofy tricks, and Blood literally closed the container without letting the cameraman thank him. The toilets realized they needed to stop the large clockman, and sent a small toilet with a magnet to stop his abilities. But Speakerman saved the party again, by once again dismembering the mutant into atoms. I don't know where he got those guns from, but the way he literally turns enemies into powder is just insane. The guys were getting ready to leave the base, but then they noticed this one dude who seemed so crazy that he wanted to keep fighting 1,000,000,000 enemies, and he was even waving at the other guys to back off like he'd take care of it. And when I saw that Bro likes to smoke, I realized what was going on here. This is the same cameraman we saw in episode 75. Looks like Bro smoked too much, and now he doesn't know what he's doing, because fighting 1,000,000,000 enemies isn't the smartest decision. I would understand this if he had to detain enemies, but what he's about to do doesn't make sense, since all the agents have already retreated and the base will be destroyed. But honestly, there's always that one dude who doesn't want to leave and tries to kill as many enemies as possible, so I won't judge his decision. After the guys retreated, the cameraman got inside some powerful cannon and started turning on all the mechanisms, and we saw several huge cannons emerge from the ground, and it looks like he put the base in defense mode for the final battle. And although the shells from the cannons looked pretty powerful, it still wasn't enough to penetrate the armor of the big toilets that accompany Uncle Jimmy, and the toilets were able to destroy even one cannon, and then the others. In short, it was a pointless action on the part of the cameraman, but he fought to the very end, trying to do as much damage as possible. And honestly, it reminds me of this moment when Hanji was fighting a lot of Titans alone, but in that moment, she actually helped the other guys get away. What I can't say about what the cameraman did, because we literally saw agents retreat already. but he also told the god of death not today, because there was the TV man who said he couldn't let him die. And at the last moment, the TV man managed to teleport them to another place. It looks like this cameraman is very valuable to the Alliance, and it's not strange, because the bro literally looks like the commander their race deserves. Then the guys saw literally hundreds of enemies that accompanied the founding G-Man. And if you watched Attack on Titan, you know what's going on here, because the actions from the anime are literally repeated here, and I like it. G-Man is going to destroy all the headquarters of the agents one by one, and is slowly moving towards his goal. And when the guys got out of there, the toilet started to completely destroy what was left of this base. And at the end of the episode, we were shown how bad things are for the Alliance, because besides huge G-Man, he is accompanied by a huge army that the toilets were preparing the whole show. And at the very end, we saw that the base was completely destroyed, and that was the end of the episode. I liked this episode, but although I noticed some moments with the quality, as in large-scale moments, the quality was slightly worse than usual. But it's not about the quality of animation, but the quality of the video itself. It seems to me that after the guys made the episode, they poorly rendered episode in combination with the past episodes. And when rendering videos with different frame counts, the quality of all videos gets worse. But there's nothing wrong with it. It happens sometimes, and I really enjoyed the episode. From what I understand, that the toilets will again try to find other agent headquarters and destroy them, as well as cameramen are preparing for improvement, and most likely, they will improve to version 3.0, as it was in the original series. Anyway, we will soon find out about everything. For now, we are waiting for a special episode, and then episode 42. So if we get any leaks or information, I will make a video about it, so make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss it. Elite Clockwoman out.